Hey everyone. So I thought I'd make a quick video on how I made games in C. So let's get started. So this is the main.c. This is the file that I compile. This includes everything that the project needs. So I've got SDL, OpenGL extensions, some of my own libraries here, and then all the game files. So there's 4 different files: the game loop, game reset, particle, and bond, and then the header files for each one of those. And the rest of the main is basically just opening a window and initializing everything. So let's check out the game.c. So this has the game loop, pretty standard stuff. Does the UI update, gets the inputs, and does the rendering here. And then the simulations here use a sim timer, so this keeps it running at a constant 60 frames per second. There's better ways to do this, like with multi-threading and stuff, but this works good enough for now. So let's check out the particle.c. So we've got a create particle and particle simulation. And in the header files, I always have the data that needs. So like the particle has the max number of particles and a particle struct, just an array of structures. So let's have everything that the particle needs. You can see it just allocates all of them right here. Like I don't have to allocate when I create one. Like I just basically just mem set it to 0 because the memory is already allocated. Increase the number of particles, and that's it. And it's the same with the bonds. So the bonds connect 2 particles, and then they have a length that they try to keep at. So there's the create bond simulation. So let's see what it does. So right now it just creates, 100 and something particles, and then just has one bond connecting each one to the next one. So if I pause it and reset, you can see they all start out like in a line, and then since some of the corner ones are connected to the other end, they kind of like pull together. So we can mess around with this. We can change like the bond length. So if I make that longer, it'll try to keep a different distance. Alright, let's check out the game reset function. So it's pretty simple. It just goes through kind of our rows and columns here, creating particles. So we can change some of this. Let's make it wider. This will create a lot more particles also. Check it out. Let's set the length back to 1. So you can see, since we're not allocating or freeing any memory when we reset, it pretty much resets instantaneous until we find a bug, apparently. Alright, let's see what that is. Oh, we're not setting the number of bonds to 0. Alright, that should fix that. Yep. So that's another cool thing about this system, is it's really easy to just reset everything and just set the number of particles, number of bonds to 0. That's it. And any other entities that the game has, you can use kind of the same system. All right, let's see how many particles we can do here before it starts to slow down. Okay, looks like that did it. That's what, 64 times 64. decent number. It runs pretty well. A little bit less, a little bit fewer. Alright, so let's try something out here. What I wanted to do with this is kind of make a blob. So what I'm going to do here, get rid of the bonds that are created at the beginning. So this should just make everything fly apart. And instead of that, in the particle simulation, I'm going to check if the distance between this particle and another particle is close enough let's say if the distance is less than 1, then we'll create a bond between them. This might blow up. Very possible. Actually, what I'm going to do here is make sure that there isn't already a bond between the two particles. Check the other way around too. Okay. Let's see what this does. Yeah, kind of creates a blob. Changing the length. That's kind of interesting. So I think I'll wrap up the video here. So yeah, the main points of how I program C is basically just include everything in the main file, and you can see the header files are included first and then the C files, so every function can access every one of these global array of structs, which I don't think is how they teach you to do it in school, but works for me. So like in the bond simulation here, you can see like it just accesses the particle stuff by index. Also, yeah, I hardly ever use pointers. Almost everything is just an index into this array of structs. And if you make it a power of 2, you can make it really easy to never try to access a particle that doesn't exist by just ANDing it with that -1. Yeah, so I might make another one of these videos at some point. Yeah, that's it for now.